So, guys, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
What do you want to tell people? HIV is no longer a death sentence.
Exactly. Exactly. You can live 60 plus years, 70 plus years with HIV.
And you guys are the new face of HIV.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. It's crazy, huh?
I haven't thought of it that way.
You are. I mean, the condition affects 1.2 million Americans. People, still a lot of stigma out there about it?
Oh, yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, and that's one of the biggest things that I wanted to do the documentary for, is to get rid of that stigma, because it hurts. It really hurts. It affects.
And when chronically in the lives of young people, the thing that people keep asking me is, how do they have romantic relationships? Do they still have sex?
Right. Yeah, it's not a sex handicap. You can still have sex. The whole point of the awareness is the condom use. That's all it is the very
Condom, reduced viral load, that reduces the risk by 96%. There's something called pre-exposure prophylaxis that you can discuss with your doctor if you want. Right. But both of you still have romantic relationships. In fact, we look at your romantic relationship during the special.
Sure do.
A little rocky.
A little bit.
Oh, still mad at him. Is there a boyfriend now, Stephanie?
No boyfriend.
All right. Now, you've been living with the disease for 6 years now. Is that not with the infection? Really, we even qualify it as a disease at this point. It's just really sort of an infection, yeah. And there was a difficult moment during the making of this documentary. Take a look at this.
My spirits were incredibly low. Self-esteem was shot. It's just that whole phase of nobody wants me. Nobody's gonna want me. Nobody's gonna, excuse me.
Both of you have had feelings like that. I've talked, Kelly, you're actually reacting to Stephanie's feelings right now.
Yeah, I can relate to them.
No one's going to want me.
Yeah, I mean, the fear that no one's going to want you is very real.
And you're going to be alone.
Right.
Family, though, you know, in the documentary, we will see you hugging and kissing and sharing food with family members and friends. They don't seem to be afraid of infection. They don't seem to maintain the stigma or the ignorance about this disease, right? How about romantic partners? Because that's really where, when you're your age, that's where a lot of that sort of fear goes. Do people reject you?
I've had a couple of rejections just off of just telling my status. I've had one where we were on a date and he just kind of changed the subject. He asked me to just tell him a secret, and I told him why I speak, and I'm an HIV educator, and because I've been living with it for 6 years, and that was the last time I saw him.
Kelly?
I've been lucky to not have been rejected very much.
Nice.
I've had, one instance in particular where, we just kissed and he asked me if he had anything to be afraid of.
Just from kissing?
I told him after we kissed and we touched a little bit, but I pulled him aside and I said, I'm having fun, and if this is going to go any further, I need to tell you this. And I told him, and he avoided me for like 6 or 7 days. And later he came up to me and asked me if he had anything to worry about.
Just from kissing?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, let's talk to somebody special for Stephanie. She's on the phone right now. It is Stephanie's mom, Melissa Bryant. Take us back to how you felt, Melissa, when Stephanie told you that she was HIV positive.
First of all, I'd like to say hi to everyone. Hi, Dr. Drew. When she first told me that she was HIV positive, I felt broken. I felt afraid for her. Y'all going to have to excuse me if I get emotional.
Stephanie warned me you'd cry, Melissa.
Say that
You
again,
with me?
I'm sorry.
Stephanie warned me that you were a crier, that you'd be crying about this. Let me support you on this and say, Melissa, when you and I, back in the day, were learning about this condition, it was a death sentence. Isn't it striking
Yes.
how different it is now?
Yes, because the first time that I heard the 3 letters HIV, my first thought was death. Like, I'm not going to have her. Within a year, she's not going to be here with me. And that's what scared me the most. But through education, through learning about it, I know now that it's life.
Stephanie, want to comment?
Mom, it's okay. Please stop crying.
I know. You know how I get, baby.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's still rough for her, and I mean, it's a natural fear that parents have, and she has the fear now of me being out and telling my story, the hate crimes that are still out there.
Oh my.
And at first, when I first got diagnosed, me and her would bump heads a lot because I was still trying to accept the fact that I was HIV positive.
Well, you guys have, now that you have accepted, some of what you do publicly, being on a show like this, educating, advocating, is really part of managing the condition, isn't it?
Exactly.
Makes you feel...
For me, yeah.
For Kelly, for sure. Stephanie, I've heard you say the same thing.
The
I could talk to you guys all together. There's so much more to talk about. And we get into a lot of it in this special and in the after show, too. We had a really interesting conversation last night about the African-American community and the misconceptions there. There's sort of special needs in different communities. The important thing to remember is this thing is with us. These guys are going to visit the White House tomorrow because the White House has taken an interest in it. They think it's something very, very important. It's kind of become the forgotten epidemic in a way, and it's a lot of young people living with it. Stephanie Brown, Kelly Gluckman, thank you so much for sharing the stories and being a part of all this.